Hey everybody, it's MaLu, Beyoncé,
Gabe.
and we are super fans. So happy to bring you another episode of Oh Heck Nah, a Naked and Afraid podcast. And we're doing Apocalypse's episode number 3. And we're gonna get this started. What did you think about the show opening up on Joe again?
I mean, the Joe show. I think the first hour of the episode was kind of very Joe heavy, but as we started skipping days, he wasn't really as prominent. So I'm just like, oh no, where's the Joe show?
It's the Joe show again. Like you said, it is very Joe heavy, which I'm sure Joe is happy about. But let's talk about his throw up scene.
Why? Okay.
Jesus.
Mm. Why? I literally wrote this in my notes. Why do we have to see such detailed, high definition footage of the survivalists losing their lunch so many times? Why? We don't need to. It's like with Seth when he was just like, oh, I'd have a, and it was like, I don't need to see that. Sorry to interrupt, but
No, it was horrible again. Thank you, Naked and Afraid editors, for making sure we got to see it not once, but twice. And I feel like I saw it a third time in my nightmare that night. So anyway, Joe's by himself. I'm proud of him. He's working strong and he's interesting, obviously, because if he wasn't, it wouldn't be so Joe heavy, correct?
And I believe there was a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race that, from a reality TV show aspect, it's really good to get a lot of screen times. And I know sometimes the survivors may be like, no, I'm just here to survive. Everything's fine. But, if you want that screen time, you got to do stuff that's interesting. And Joe's doing some interesting stuff and being shown. And he's by himself, too. And he's getting more screen time than a team with 3 people, than a team with 4 people, kind of. So, I mean, he's doing something right, at least, in the reality show aspect. And he's doing stuff right in the survival aspect because he's able to get food and he's able to hydrate himself. So he's doing a lot of things right here. And he's getting a lot of people talking.
So what are the people saying? What are the fans saying about him now?
People still don't like him. There was someone on one of the pages who posted anonymously that was saying, I hope that he gets like stung. I hope that he injures himself. I think they might have said they hoped he got poisoned or something, but they were just like, is it just me or does everyone want Joe to go through all these calamities? And a lot of people were like, that's just you. That's a little bit too far. And other people are
Yeah.
saying a lot of worse things. I don't want to say it, but they're just accusing him of stuff, and it's just like, please, like, leave him alone. He had a tiff with Kel for a little bit. That's over with now. Breathe. Just watch the show. Stop sending so much hate. Don't send hate. Support your favorites.
I think that we were very fair to Kel and Joe. I don't know if they agree or not, but we can see all sides of it. And now he's by himself, so let's stop the hate. So, what was the next thing that you remembered from the episode that you thought was memorable?
At least I remember from Joe, he was smart in the way that he made a filtration system since he's like, I'm by myself. I can't spend so much time getting the water ready and getting it to lukewarm just to drink. So he made a filtration system for himself. And then I feel like this episode, we got to see a lot more of Wes's group, mainly because they have 4 people. And also, we see early on that Miranda is really not doing well when they're out fishing. She's like, I don't really feel good. I just need some food. And so it was kind of unfortunate the reason why we're seeing a lot of Wes's group, but unfortunately Miranda is just kind of going downhill at the beginning of the episode.
I'm going to stop you there and I'm going to talk about one of her stand ups. On the flies, whatever you want to call them. I noticed that in the very early part of the show, she's doing a stand up, and I'm like, I'm going to pay attention to the markings on her face because something about this stand up doesn't feel right. Editors, I know you try to get one by me, but it did not work. Tricky, tricky, tricky. She has 2 marks of ash on her face. And then at the end of the show, when she's leaving, she has those same 2 marks. So this stand up is obviously the same stand up that she gave at the end, but she's saying it as if it was towards the beginning. So it happens out there, and I love it. It makes the story continue, and there's a reason why they do it. But I also like catching it. But I
Yeah.
hate that she's feeling bad. She looked horrible. Is it okay to say that? I'm sorry, Miranda. I felt your pain.
Yeah. Speaking of like the continuity errors, I noticed a few things similarly, like with Frank in his hunting scenes. There are some scenes where his arm is bare, and then other scenes there are marks on his arms. And I feel like, especially in Wes's group, we get so many reaction shots of Stephen Kelly doing like the same thing. There's some like there's a time where they had like a conversation in the shelter, and we just see Steve and Kelly looking to the side the exact same way so many times. At her worst, looks better than me at my best. So I mean, I don't know, but
Snap it. I'm telling you,
I
that
mean,
is what I'm talking about. Yes, she does. I'm sorry, Miranda. I said you looked horrible. Gabe, as always, makes a good point. You look better at your worst than I ever could, or Gabe, like
I mean,
he said, on our best. So
yeah.
there we go. So I'm gonna bring up this. Remember the last episode that we did? I kind of talked about how there were no egos. I was surprised in the King of the Forces group. Did you notice that one little snippy comment? And it was a little snippy that he made.
Was it like, oh, if you're not going to refine your skills, then give me the bow and I'll do it? That part?
Yes. Yes. And I'm glad they included it, but I'm glad it wasn't a huge thing.
There were a few people online that kind of picked up on it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Stephen Lee Hall Jr. is so jealous, and we haven't seen him get a big hunt." But I feel like that was such a short snippet, and that was the only part where we see his face when he's doing that kind of long sentence. This is my conspiracy theory. I think there were some Franken sentences, and maybe they were just like, "Oh, if after 2 weeks Frank hasn't gotten a big game animal, what would be your response?" And Steven's just like, oh, definitely. I would be like, if you, like, hypothetically, if you don't refine your skills, then I'll just do it kind of thing. But I think they're trying to create a little bit of a story of like, who's the mentor? Is Stephen Lee Hall Jr. the mentor, or is Frank the mentor? And maybe trying to get the audience to choose a side, even though I'm sure at the moment Frank and Stephen were good. But I think if someone came into the season not seeing the survivalist past challenges, not knowing their days, and just kind of watching the episodes, I think that people would think that Frank would be like the mentor of the group just based on the edit and stuff. But I don't think Stephen Lee Hall Jr. is like jealous of Frank.
Ouch. 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 That hurt.
Ugh. Oh,
That was
I'm sorry,
that
Stephen Lee Hall
hurt,
Jr.
Gabe.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Think that it was the perfect combination of no egos with a very smart statement, because I think that more than one person should have the bow all the time. So we want to throw some spice into it. We can. And like you said, I believe non-super fans could definitely see it the way that you're seeing it. But I think a smart survivalist will always share the bow. I think Matt Wright would even share it. He was teaching people. He's like, try this, show this. Is Frank hogging the bow though, Gabe? Is he?
In my opinion, no. But that's me. What about you? Do you think that he may be hogging it a little bit?
I don't think he's hogging it a little bit because the edit is not showing everything it should or can show. We are on a time constraint. I don't think he's hogging the bow. And it doesn't matter because what? He gets the kill, correct?
He does. He gets the first big game animal. I think his first big game animal of his 3 challenges. And so kudos to Frank. Round of applause for him for such an amazing feat while out there surviving during the apocalypse. And there should be a water drinking game where, every time you hear game changer, head on a swivel, protein, you take a shot of
It
water and you
goes,
will be so hydrated by the end of it. You'll be 100% hydrated.
that would be a fun water drinking game. So, but I was really proud of Frank. I think that they're trying to make it seem a certain way, try to throw a little interest into their group dynamics. I think it's all love and brotherhood for now. We'll see. They have food. So I feel like every time there's food, everybody's happy for quite a bit afterwards. What's next? What else do you think was memorable on the show?
Or I was just gonna say what happened with Teal, and if I had a nickel for every time this type of injury happened, I'd had 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's crazy that it happened twice.
Well, I definitely wanted to talk about Teal. Number one, I was very disappointed to see her bare bootay. And I am going to say that because I wanted to see her panties that she talked about making, because she has all this garb. She has on her top, she has on her overcoat. And a lot of times I was like, well, underneath that overcoat, are there panties that she was talking about making? And then they showed her bare bum, and I was like, oh man, I wanted to see her cute panties. Is that
Uh,
weird? I don't care. I wanted to see her panties that she made.
I mean, I would love to see her on Project Runway or Naked and Afraid Project Runway, because I think we could have
Spinoff.
exactly, we could have Dan Link there, we could have Teal there. I think Miranda and Stephen Kelly's outfits were really great as well. I mean,
And we
I
can bring in Shell for accessories because, she
uh,
uses the bones for her earrings. So we need to bring in Shell.
and her eye patch near the end was very fabulous.
Up with her eye patch and the metal piece. I guess that's for pressure. I mean, girl had it thought out, did she not?
Yeah, people were talking about what is Amber doing with her piece of leather, just like kind of haphazardly stuck to her eye. And here's Teal like making this like or I can't think of any other word besides fabulous. Her eye patch where it's like, oh, this is fancy. Teal is, building a great shelter with Waj. I think I would like to see her do more challenges. I think that
Already.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like she has an ease where it's like she has an idea of what she needs to do. And if things go wrong, she's not going to panic or like be like, oh no, what are we going to do? It's just like, okay, I have my partner. Everything's going good. This is what we need to do. And so,
She screams softly. She makes her presence known softly. And that is a unique skill to have. And I love her for it. Good job, Teal, because we didn't talk about her much last episode.
yeah, I was thinking about, okay, going through the list of survivalists, and I was just like, oh no, we haven't given Teal her flowers yet, because I think that, I'm not worried about her in the challenge. I know at the end it's like if her eye gets worse, that spoiler alert, if her eye gets worse, then she might need to be tapped, and I'm like, I'm sure she's fine. There are a few others I'm
She
worried
better
about, but
not
not her.
leave. Is
I
she
hope
leaving?
not.
She better not.
I don't think so. There's still 2 moments from the trailer. There's one where she has her eye patch and she's yelling Waz's name and everyone's thinking she's getting chased by a lion. And the other one is when she's walking with her backpack and she's like looking off and she's like, maybe that's like a merge moment or something. But, I think she's going to be okay.
I
Fingers
hope so.
crossed.
I hope so. So let's talk about Eric, the producer, who made his appearance with Miranda, and he announces the news that Miranda's going to be medically tapped. He
No.
got on his knee. He seems so caring and loving. And then there's a few more background shots where Miranda's saying goodbye to her team. She's crying. She's upset. And he's in the background looking very solemn and sad. And I just want to mention that I loved his demeanor. It looked like he really cared. I don't know. It was great. Did you happen to notice that?
I unfortunately did not. I was just kind of focusing on like, oh no, or this is the first tap out of the episode has come to pass. Who will be the second? Dun dun dun. But as much as I've been background in TV and film, I unfortunately don't usually look in the background of TV shows that much anymore, unfortunately.
Well, let's talk about Big Daddy Wes. Is that a name that we should call him, Big Daddy
Big da-
Wes? I kind of like it. Big
well,
Daddy Wes.
well, I think the Gen Zers say Zaddy, Zaddy. So is Wes Big Daddy Wes or is he Zaddy?
Well, let's call him Zaddy. There's your new name, Wes. Get ready for it. Zaddy. He
Let's see if it
looked like a
catches.
bad A Zaddy when he was in the blind. His face was all, dirtied up, and he's trying to get a kill from Miranda. And I really want to talk about it. Not just that he's Zaddy, but you can tell that he was concerned for his partner. He's a good leader. We talked about wanting to be on his team last time, and go West. You are getting the perfect amount of camera attention in the right way, and I'm down for it.
Yeah, and I think it was really smart because even though there's not really a place for him to set up an effective blind, he had kind of the pinkish colored blanket that he put over his legs, and then he had the tan top, so it could be a little bit camouflage because the blanket kind of matched the dirt and the top kind of matched the leaves, and he has little hat, his bag hat, and so he was very smart. It's like, okay,
He's there. Um, I know he's your favorite because of his
his Liverpool
accent.
accent.
His accent. But the thing that stood out to me is like when he was strutting to go back to get everything to help catch food. I mean, it was like a war stance, and for him to walk into that scary building alone, it was great. Steve's doing exactly what he needs to do too. Let's move on to somebody who's not getting a lot of attention, and I'm really surprised, which is 10.0 Waz.
Yeah, I think that him and Teal were kind of the one of the teams that were like in the background of the episode a little bit. I think he has many ideas, and he and Teal were working on fortifying their boma, and there was the moment where they see the tracks. Oh, and then there was that funny moment where he's like, "Well, the reason why they appear bigger is because the lion's feet are sliding," and Teal's like, "You're just doing that to make me feel better," and he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. I loved it. And this is why I love Waz. And he also screams without shouting. And I loved it when he said he was parched. Did I detect him doing a little bit of an accent, or was that just what was that when he said he was parched?
I do not remember that, unfortunately. I don't remember him putting on uh, did he put on? I can't.
It
I
probably
don't.
wasn't a fake accent. It's probably his real accent, and I'm just picking up on it. I was a little worried because let me know if I'm wrong here. In his first episode with Rose, was it Rose that they were like, there's probably other holes somewhere? Wasn't that with Waz and Rose when they were looking in holes or something? And he
I
was like, "You think?" And she was like, "Yeah." And do you remember that?
I unfortunately do not. It's been a while since I've seen his first episode. I just remember him being like, "I'm not really that kind of hugger. I don't really like hugs
Or
and
high fives?
or high fives." And a lot of people saying I have a resting witch face, but I don't. Or it's like I'm
Well,
not feeling that way.
I could be mistaken, but I think there was something with, him trying to look for something in a burrow, and they were like, "Hey, there's probably another one." I could be wrong. I don't know. But Waz was not getting a lot of airtime, but the time that he got was memorable. It's just his resting witch face is sexy as all get out, and he was a little bit softer this time. I love it. And he's with Teal. It's a great team.
Yeah, and they mention that a lot, how they're such a great team and they're very supportive of each other. And I think it's just they have an ease throughout this challenge where unless something goes like catastrophically wrong, I think that both will most likely make it through, except for during the trailer, we didn't see that much, or I don't think I saw Kel or Waz at all in that initial trailer. So initially I was a little bit worried, but nothing has really shown. But I think that those two are doing really well. And since there's no tension or drama or kind of big moments are not really being focused on that much, unfortunately.
I call them the foundation of the show, like him and Wes, even though there was some excitement or some caution because of Miranda, but they're the foundation. They're the ones who are holding the show up. Let's talk about Joe and the elephant. What the heck was going on there? I just couldn't. That's a no for me.
That just reminds me from American Idol. It's a no from me kind of thing. But I wanted to mention how when we hear at one point the elephant making like a trumpeting noise before it leaves, I was just like Jurassic Park because one, it's my favorite movie, and two, they use this is very off topic, but they used elephant trumpeting noises or elephant noises to make the Tyrannosaurus Rex roar. So when
Hmm.
the when the elephant was making the elephant, yay, when the elephant was doing its long trumpeting, that just reminded me of in Jurassic Park when I believe it's when Dr. Alan Grant threw the flare and the T Rex roars as it goes across the screen before. But
I've
that's what
never
I wanted
seen
to.
it.
No, I'm just kidding. Oh,
You
okay.
and Andrew Shade. I think Andrew
I'm like,
Shade would do the exact same thing. I've never seen Jurassic Park. There's several of them. Never seen them. But back to the elephant.
back
Let's
to the
not
elephant.
focus on my shortcomings.
Where's Andrew Shade? I know he said his favorite movie is Jurassic Park as well. I was a little bit worried because Joe's like, oh, I need to hide. And he seemed, I feel like he kind of got up and he like quickly moved to go behind the thing. And I was just like, I don't know about like sudden movement. I'm thinking like with predators and prey, your actions have to be different. With predators, you have to be like, I'm big and I'm a threat to you. With prey, you have to be like, I'm not a threat to you. And well, and elephants are herbivorous and they'll smack you down if you mess with them. And so I feel like him doing that quick run to hide, I was just like, ooh, because that elephant might have gotten spooked by that. But luckily, I think, behind the camera, there are some rangers who are like, you're fine. But yeah, that was the kind of the moment where I was like, ooh, Joe, please be careful. But luckily, Bull Elephant was like, I got my water, so I'm leaving.
Well, let's talk about behind the scenes and what actually happens on Naked and Afraid. Okay. I think personally that the danger is 100 million trillion% real. Do not doubt that. But I also feel like these animals might be in an area where they do experience some type of human experience. Like humans are not strange to them. I think they come in contact with them more than someone just completely in the wild. Because I feel like if they were completely in the wild, your scenario would have 100% happened. I think it would have been spooked by the smell, by the movement, everything. But even with that being said, I don't want people to be like, oh, it's set up, it's fake. No, even on enclosures for animal habitats, people have to be on, like you said, head on a swivel, extra careful. People die every year. So the animals are somewhat used to humans, but still a very dangerous situation. And I did not really love the way he moved like you didn't. Be careful out there,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, and people are still saying that the flip-flops that or speaking of like real or fake, but people are still saying that the flip-flops that Teal made were like ones that were planted there kind of thing. But even though she did show like, hey, this is like them at the beginning stage and here's them now, but she made them so well that they look like they were just planted there. But it's just like I don't think anything there was planted. Again, going back to Castaways, people are like, oh, that truck was planted there, that knife was planted there, that glass was planted there. But I've been to a beach that has not been cleaned by people, and there is a lot of stuff because I did a study abroad in the Bahamas and one of the islands. It was just
I'm not
littered with
touching it.
garbage. Yeah,
I'm
and
not
yeah,
touching I'm not touching the garbage. I'm not touching what they have and what they don't have, whether it was already there or if they made sure it was there. I'm not touching that. But I feel like this is a real place that has abandoned things. And the only thing I will say is they didn't plan all that stuff. I can guarantee you that. So,
yeah.
what's next? This episode to me was a little bit light. And we have the animals coming up at night. We have her eye injury. We have Miranda. We're only on day 8. What
Huh.
else did you want to talk about in this episode
Well,
besides
there
the major thing that happens?
let's see. And
Yeah.
people are like, oh, Joe, he's probably getting rust from the bucket that he's using. That's not smart. The same cup that he's using to put the water in is what he's using to filter and stuff. But we don't see him getting sick because if editors or producers really wanted to show him like not doing well, they would be like, he got sick to his stomach because of this. But he seems to be doing okay and thinking smartly. And again, please don't send hate. And it's the Joe show. He's getting a lot of screen time. He's by himself.
Yes. And you know who else is getting a little screen time by force? that's Zaddy's body, because Zaddy's pretty much the only person who ain't covering up nothing. He put a rag on his head and that's about it. I remember when he was on Frozen, he came out, I think it was when Jermaine got the rabbit, and he came out the boma completely butt naked on Frozen. Wes does not like to put on clothes. Thank you for that, Wes. I thanked you during Frozen. I'm going to thank you again. Zaddy, do what you do. All
Come
right,
back for
let's
more
get
challenges. Sorry. Yeah.
come back. We need you. We love you. I don't know why he's always so naked, but anyway, let's talk about Kel.
Yeah. That was unfortunate. And
It was unfortunate.
oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why am I laughing? I have no idea.
Gosh. I know that my voice, even when I'm being sarcastic, it sounds like my regular voice and people think I'm sarcastic all the time. But it is very upsetting to see what happened where I believe on day 8, she's kind of not feeling well as well. She's kind of having similar symptoms to Miranda. Stephen Kelly is running after guinea fowl with a rod. I'm a Viking. Come on. And Wes is trying to shoot the animals, but unfortunately misses. And so it's just like, oh, they're trying so hard. And Kel is like, I'm getting cramps. I feel something weird going on in my liver. She's resting. And then I feel like it was kind of out of nowhere because she's like, oh, I'm not feeling good. By the way, guys, I'm leaving. And I was just like, where did this come from? Did you feel that way or
She's
was it just.
No, I feel the exact same way. However, I will say that her face looked very sunken in all of a sudden. She definitely looked like something was going on. I can't put my finger on it. I know she's a very holistic person. Uh, The exit just seemed out of nowhere and not fitting right. What
Yeah,
about you? Did they mention how much weight she lost?
no, they haven't been doing weight loss or like PSRs for like these spin-offs or for people that tap. But Wes did make a comment saying, I've never seen someone lose weight that fast.
What have people been saying about Kel's exit on the fan pages?
Well, it's very interesting because I believe there were 2 people on 2 separate occasions. I believe there was one on Misfits and one on True Fans, where one person on Misfits was saying, what happened to all the fanfare for Kel's exit, Amber exiting? You gave her a lot of crap for that. And then there was someone on True Fans who is like, why are people not kind of saying like, why did you tab? How could she do that? Da 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 da. And people were saying, at least in terms with Amber, people were basically like, it was kind of expected from Amber, unfortunately. And they were kind of on Kel's side, like it was a mental thing, and they didn't really fault her for leaving. At least I haven't seen people faulting her for leaving. I've been seeing people kind of saying that she's annoying in terms of her arguments with Joe, but in terms of her leaving, I haven't seen a lot of negativity towards her, which is good. Don't be negative. But I was a little surprised people weren't, or I'm surprised more people haven't been talking about Miranda and Kel's exits.
Exactly. So separating the two, I mean, it's almost like they're just not talking about it that much. Not about Kel leaving, not about Miranda leaving. It was just they're gone kind of thing. And they were focusing on still trying to throw some hate out to Joe that he doesn't deserve. And they're talking about the kill. Maybe it's the kill that made everybody kind of forget
Yeah.
about it because it was great kill. I don't know.
It's really upsetting to see them leave. And it's just like, how did this happen? But it's just, I guess,
How many people
they're
have left?
4. Russell, Amber, Miranda, and Kel.
So more than one team because each team had 3 and we have 4 people gone. So it's like we're down a whole team and then some. This is
Exactly. I
not,
think.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, Stephen Lee Hall Jr.'s team is the only one that has all remaining, or the original 3 members. Everyone else has lost 1 or 2 people. Sorry, continue.
Oh no, I'm just saying this is not good for the ideal situation that I'm sure the Naked and Afraid producers had in their head. I know they think they're going to lose 1 or 2, but I don't think they want to lose 4 people. And it's only day, what, 9?
I believe Kel leaves on day 8, so they lose 4 people by day 8 of the challenge.
Yeah. What is up next for the next episode?
Do we want to talk about Frank's big game success, or do we just want to go to episode 4 stuff?
Well, no. Let's talk
Or
about it. I
okay.
kind of thought we kind of talked about it. I guess we
Oh,
didn't.
okay, yeah.
Let's talk about Frank's kill. My favorite part was them sitting around eating from the pot. Let's talk about his kill. I'll let you handle that.
I mean, I wasn't surprised just based off the commercials and stuff, but I just think it's a very commendable moment. He's like, I want to help my partners. On his first challenge, he helped Sarah when she was going through back pain. On his second challenge, he was kind of mentoring Scott. And on this challenge, he's able to provide for his team. So I think that's a big win. And hopefully we can see him on more challenges. I would say I would love to see him on a mentor challenge, but I feel like every challenge he's done has been a mentor challenge. And I also wanted to commend Alexa on her talking about how, I've been a vegetarian since I was 13 years old, but you got to do what you got to do kind of thing. Because in the past, no offense to other vegetarians, but they're like, oh, I don't know about this, but it's a survival thing. So I just wanted to like commend her on that. And I
Or they're going
think
to
that
get their food through the sun kind of deal.
photosynthesis, and unfortunately, I don't
Yeah.
think there's a lot of flora food out there other than like mopani leaves. But yeah, I just want to mention that. But episode 4 is called
Hang on.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hang on.
Sorry.
Give me a chance
Sorry.
to talk
Sorry.
about No. Give me a chance to talk about our vegetarian, because I agree with you. Thank you for bringing up Alexa's strength, because let me tell you, we really need to call her out for being so flexible, because if she refused to eat meat, everybody on the internet, all the super fans would be just cutting her down. So we don't talk about the good enough. So thank you for calling that out. Good job, Alexa, for trying it. I think that there's been some other ones. Wasn't it Elise a vegetarian and she tried
Oh,
meat out there as well?
from Kai and Gabrielle's challenge. Oh yeah, I remember she tried the armadillo, and wasn't she like, nope, I can't do it. I can't have armadillo. And I
And I
think
think that's just because it was armadillo, but she tried. So we really need to uplift these people who are trying new things, because we are out of our comfort zone. Good job. All right.
yeah. Okay,
Sorry, I'll
sorry.
give the floor back to you now. Tell us all about the next episode.
Okay, the next episode is called Stormageddon. An unrelenting electrical storm pounds the wasteland for 3 straight days. Survivalists scavenge wreckage for roofing materials and gutters to stave off flooding. Barely protected inside a junk car, Alexa's challenge is at risk due to hypothermia.
I mean, listen, people gave me a lot of slack for saying I could catch hypothermia in the Colombian jungle. They're talking about it in Africa. It's a real thing. I'm already nervous. 3 weeks ago, and I might have told you about it. Gabe, did I tell you about lightning hitting this tree and the tree catching on fire while I was driving directly next to me?
I vaguely remember, but I don't remember a tree catching on fire.
Yes, lightning hit a tree and the tree caught on fire right when I was driving by. It was the weirdest thing in the world I've ever seen. I was wondering, has everyone experienced seeing lightning actually strike? And I actually got to see lightning strike happen fast. Mother Nature is a beast, and these people are out here facing another Mother Nature. Y'all quit giving these survivalists a hard time, because this is crazy. They are putting their life at risk. It's dangerous. And just because someone makes fabulous shoes does not mean that they're living it up out there. Right, Gabe?
Right.
I'm sorry, I went off a little bit. It just makes me
No,
so mad
go
when people
off.
think it's not real.
Yeah, or they see the weight loss at the end, and they're like, I don't think this is real. And it's like, but they show the comparison. People are starving out there. Some behind the scenes information will be leaked one day, and they were on a sound stage the whole time, and they just did epic workout routines and sweated all the weight off. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how it's
Cutting
going.
that. I'm so
Sorry.
cutting
Oh
that
no.
because people are going to believe it. I'm cutting
No,
it out of the
I'm
podcast.
yeah, cut it. I'm sorry. But I mean, oh, and our I guess somewhat important information. Stephen Lee Hall Jr. as of day 11 is on day 283 challenge days. So if he makes it 17 more days, he will be the first to make it to 300 days on Naked and Afraid. Dun dun dun.
I'm sure he's going to make it. With that being said, we're going to play a game here in just a second. But before we start the game, let's do a little quick sign off in case we have to cut it. We're trying our best to be more organized. We thank you for listening and or watching the podcast. Please make sure you like, follow, subscribe. It means the world to us. We do a lot of work. So I'm MaLu Beyoncé, and I'm out.
And I'm Gabe, and thank you all so much for being here, and have a wonderful day/night.
So I want to address something that happened. Hang on. This is real. So it's hard for me to talk about this. I'm starting over. One of my Facebook friends sent me a message, and I did not read the message, but I could tell from the little preview it was negative. And I decided not to read the message because I just didn't want to deal with a truth. Like whatever she was saying to me, I knew was going to be a truth. I wronged her in some way, or I let her down in some way. And so I chose not to read it. I got another message, and I did not read it, apologizing. And I know that she's apologizing from like the little preview. You don't have to apologize to me. I know I let you down, and I don't even have enough courage to read your message because I do feel bad for letting you down. And I know that that message was some kind of confrontation about me letting you down. I apologize. Do not apologize to me. I don't really know. I think it has something to do with an autograph, in which I'm behind with, to everybody.
But okay, so the little game that I wanted to introduce is the ranking game, in which I give a list of 3 to 4 survivalists who I or the fans kind of want to see return, and I want, I guess, to make things easier, just kind of have them come back for like Excel or redemption or last one standing kind of thing. And for today's episode, I'm going to be giving MaLu a list of 4 survivalists who either me or the fans may potentially want to see come back to a last one standing, and MaLu will rank them on kind of who she wants to see the most. That, that might be a little bit shady, but MaLu can list them as she wishes. And so
Pressure's real. The pressure's real.
so MaLu, between EJ, Riley, Ryan, and Gabriel, who do you most want to see return for a last one standing challenge? You can rank them or just list your top choice.
I'm going to say EJ number 1 because we need him back. And then my second choice is going to be Gabby. She is a fighter at heart, a beautiful soul, and I would love to see her on Last One Standing. I think she would have a real shot at winning. I am not going to rank Riley or who was the other person? Ryan. We need them back fast or they'll never come back. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all agree, disagree? I know there's going to be some people like, oh no, you have to bring back Riley stat. So let us know. Gabe, I want you to tell me, I know you want all of them back. Who's your number 1? You can't say EJ.
Then Gabby.